Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last over a year and counting, that's right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for approximately the next hour for today's stream subject as well as some general Q&A. But before we begin said stream subject, allow me to start with a little bit of housekeeping. Lone Claw! Congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Dr. Vincent, Amber, Puppet Boy, Senior Researcher Alex, Too Many Names, Quinn, Blue Phantom, Scarlet, Josh, Solar Striker, Aoki, Creepypasta George Harrison, 369 Destroyer. All of you, as well as you at the very last second, Dean Cass. Thank you for being here today punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site-42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Meanwhile, Onery, Kaburo, 100 stars, Bored as Hell, Daniel Cross, Minty Andrea, and Bendy Cutout. Congratulations on being here punctually, and congratulations on being here today just for being you. Also, happy Mother's Day to everyone in the staff to whom you are a mother in celebration or you have a mother to be celebrating. Hopefully you did remember that it is Mother's Day and got your mothers their appropriate gifts. Hopefully our mothers in the audience are having the appropriately good day. And no, Site-42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, I, Dr. Sherman, am not going to be Mr. Steal Your Mom today. Unless you anger me. Then I will take her out for a nice date, and we will discuss containment procedures for anomalies, and where the evening goes after that. Get your mind out of the gutter, hashtag annoyed and asexual. So, today's stream is sponsored. Today's stream is sponsored by the last 3 days to get your Site Director Edition Dr. Sherman plushie. You have 3 days to put in your order at the link that is pinned in the chat or that is in the description of this VOD. If you do not get it before that time, you will not be able to. This is the literal last weekend of availability. Get it now, or I was going to say be there, be square, but it does not rhyme with get it now. Or be a cow. Cows are noble creatures who should be respected. That was rude of me. I apologize for my malfeasance in detrimenting the name of cows everywhere. That's enough of that. Now, over the last couple of days, over the course of the last week, we've been going over the entrance of This Is My Jam Con, which is an unofficial contest on the Wiki where SCP authors traded songs and then wrote SCP articles based on those songs. And I considered that we'd be doing the same today as we continue our way through the SCP entries of JamCon. But looking at the article of the day that would be next in line, we have the adult content splash for depiction of sexual acts, sexual assault, self-harm, suicidality, abuse in a sexual, psychological, and institutional abuse way. And then even going, okay, well, the SCP Foundation has very dark subject matter. I looked at it and it was very, 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 very long. And so you know what? I've only got an hour today, people. We're not doing that. That can wait till later. That is for another time. Another time, I actually got to decide if I want to read that much of an article on stream. Because when you read a too long article, it gets a little dull. So, I have to consider that if it's going to be tomorrow's subject. That being said, instead of reading that today, we have SCP Foundation Community News to cover. SCP Foundation Community News is our friends at SCP Containment Breach the movie have pre-launched their Kickstarter. They are in the pre-launch phase. You must notify me on launch. And now it's verifying my security profile and signing me in. And I can't sign in with my one hand here, so I'm just going to assume that you're going to notify yourself on launch. Make sure to notify yourself on launch because this is coming. If we go over to the Keter Labs YouTube channel, and I pause my ambiance, they have released a final cut trailer of Containment Breach the movie. So, we're going to take a look at Keter Labs' Containment Breach final trailer. Three, two, one. Esteemed guests, friends of the Foundation, beloved, humanity's greatest threat is not downstairs. It's right here in this room with us. And it'll kill you, it'll kill you, it'll kill you. Hopefully, it'll kill me. Attention, all decon personnel, please enter the containment chamber. Oh boy. And so, Site 42 staff, it is currently your mission to go to the Keter Labs YouTube channel, to go to that trailer, to leave comments, to hit the hype button. You see, I, as a larger channel, do not have access to the hype feature. You cannot hype me, and I cannot hype others. You must be the hype squad for SCP Containment Breach, the final trailer, because that Kickstarter is coming soon, and we need to get people on board. I myself will be having another meeting with the Keter Labs team later this week to discuss secret plans. Secret plans, we'll call it. Allow me to leave my comment here in the chat. All hands on deck. Mobile Task Force, Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters. This is not a drill. Alrighty then. Returning to chat. My chat is refreshing, but suffice it to say, did that say May 15th? That's my birthday. I do believe that the Kickstarter is launching on May 15th. Yes. I do believe that is what it do say. Hold on. Stop making noise. I'm trying to find what I'm talking about. Final trailer. Pre-launch live. The Kickstarter launches May 15th. So yes, your birthday present is the likelihood that we're going to get an SCP movie. Dr. Sherman, where can we watch it? To watch the trailer, you need to go to a YouTube channel called Keter Labs. Keter Labs is the YouTube channel of the film crew working on SCP Containment Breach, the movie. And trust me, as soon as... In fact, I'm just going to do it now. Let me copy and paste the trailer link here and go to the Site 42 support beacon. In case you're unfamiliar, the Site 42 support beacon, beacons.ai/Site42, is where I post the links to our other social media so you can find us. That's what those link tree beacons are for in the first place. But it is also where I post links to different SCP projects we are collaborating with. SCP Containment Breach. Let's get that fixed. SCP Containment Breach. SCP the movie. That way people do not get confused. Suggested, no, do not make it a YouTube block. And then I need to steal the Kickstarter link. You know, I'll just make that SCP. The movie is coming. Now you're seeing a little behind the scenes of the data entry, the boring part of being an SCP Foundation researcher and PR person. All right, and let's put that in line there. Good, good. It is now added. You may go to the Site 42 support beacon if you cannot find the YouTube channel on your own. Okay. So, you have your orders to like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, clip, make edits of the SCP Containment Breach, both the trailer, but also go to the actual 10-minute proof of concept short film for SCP Containment Breach, the movie. Did you know that exists? Are you sure that you are a true SCP Foundation fan? Did you know that there is, on the SCP channel Keter Labs, a 11-minute proof of concept short film of SCP Containment Breach, the movie? This is a 12-minute, essentially, SCP live-action film as a proof of concept to make it a feature-length movie. If you haven't seen this, you need to go see it. Very good. Follow orders, and an SCP movie might be in our future. So how's your eye? It still looks a little red. Yes, intern Stokotra, as well as others who have paid attention. Don't rub it, Sherman. You brought my attention to it. It is much better than it was the last few days. It is still improving very slowly and incrementally. We are medicating with eye drops. I need to be very careful to wash my hands after petting Puppy of Interest 42 or any of the other pets in the house before rubbing my eye. Otherwise, it becomes a whole endeavor. It's not great. Now you know why I have the wet wipes. All right, I'm now going to move into catching up on the donations that came in during the intro and stream subject, and then we will have general Q&A for the next approximately 45 minutes. Dr. Vincent, thank you for your 6 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hey, Dr. Sherman, you're super awesome sauce. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliments. We're doing our best out in these YouTube streets to bring the SCP Foundation to the people. Intern Hotel California Eagles, please limit the amount of emojis that you are using to 4. We do not want the chat spam. This is a professional space. We are the SCP Foundation. We must act like we are at our work here. Now, green names are allowed to use a little more emojis, but don't get crazy with it. Follow the rules of the chat. $100 stars. Thank you for sending a 100, some sparkles, and a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will enjoy the... they will keep it 100 on your behest. They will enjoy the sparkles and the twinkling of the star. Intern Kangame, as rules continue. Thank you for your first donation. Grab yourself a cheesy poof on your way past the commissary. But there is a rule in this chat that you must adhere to above all others. And that rule is, no one in this stream mentions the character of Dr. Bright. The SCP researcher is Dr. Bright, and yes, the rest of the chat, we're going into the rant. Give me just a moment. The character of Dr. Bright is banned from the SCP Wiki, and most strictly from the Site 42 YouTube channel. The reason for this is because the author of Dr. Bright, who used the character as a blatant self-insert, was banned from the community for very egregious grooming allegations. Very egregious grooming allegations. And the character was used in those grooming allegations, both to gain victims due to the fame of being the creator of the character. The character was depicted as being attracted to minors in at least one tale written by the author. And the amulet, which was the source of the Dr. Bright anomaly, replicas of it were sent to victims to be used as part of the grooming ritual, because it was a possession kink for the amulet. And I'm not mad at you, Intern Kangame. I want you to make that clear. A lot of people don't know about this. The SCP Foundation Wiki is about 20,000 members tops. The SCP fandom is millions of people. Lots of those millions of people don't get their news from the SCP Wiki. They get it from runoff sites like SCP YouTube or SCP TikTok. I'm doing my best in these streets to provide good information to the people on the outside, rather than the content farms that just barely regurgitate the stories and don't do a very good job of even doing that. So, You are forgiven for your first offense, but from this point on, the only discussions of Dr. Bright are if I have to bring it up to tell someone why we don't talk about Bruno. So, don't do it again. You're cool. If you want more information, there is a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright. It explains in more detail, well, some detail, a quick summary, if you will, the allegations and the evidence thereof, and it has links to a deeper dive by friend of the channel, Dr. Sumerian. So look at that video and the encompassing extra videos if you want to know why, but from now on, don't do it again. And I am now closing the subject. Do not bring it up anymore. Now, to palate cleanse us from that disgusting subject, Puppy of Interest 42 has made her appearance. She is the sweetest pumpkin. We appreciate this. I'm still sad about my eyeball, though, so I can't touch you yet. But it's good to see you, Puppy of Interest 42. And I hope you are fine. I can't say no to you, sweetie pumpkin. Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, the sweetest pumpkin at Site 42. As you can see, she is practicing her hovering practice. The floating is very difficult, but she has masterful concentration. She is very smart dog. Definitely not a little ADHD bean running around like a crazy person. No, she knows how to fly. Ignore that hand there. Perfect. Very good baby. Mm-hmm. We don't have any treats on hand.
There are 3 treats on the desk. I can see them with my eyeballs.
I'm sorry, they were below the keyboard. There are treats available. Puppy of Interest 42 will receive a treat at this time. In fact, since I tried to bogart the treats, there will be a second treat. This is my recompense. Sweetie puppy. Very good. Thank you for gracing the chat with your presence. All right. Desk, welcome to the chat. Good to see you alive and well. Dr. Sherman, what's wrong with your eye? I was too friendly with the sweetie pumpkin puppy that I am allergic to, and I did so on a day before I took my allergy meds, and I have suffered ever since. Hopefully it will be gone soon. So anyway, yes, Nathaniel is now a CPOI, not an SCP, as he's a human with a strange but not dangerous anomalous powers, but is a great multi-role personnel, but he's like a notable as the idea. So, what is a CPOI, if I will? I've not heard that acronym in a long time. But as I wait for a response to that, I will continue down the donations that came in beforehand. Scarlett, thank you for your 2-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Just remember this was here. Hello, how are you? Well, I'm doing well, Scarlett. Doing well indeed, besides this itchy eye situation, which will eventually heal, I'm sure. Intern Kongame, thank you for donating again with your, to say you're bad, it's all good, and to say that your plan is to call it CPOI 9999, the English Gent. Interesting, interesting. I mean, it all comes down to how you write it at the end of the day, so good luck with the writing situation, making it sing rather than just be a concept in the ether. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they feel the love. Philip November, thank you for sending a happy Mother's Day. I am sure those with mothers and that are mothers will appreciate the sentiment. Blue Phantom, thank you for sending 4 stars, the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will strive for that 5th star. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending a floating heart. Philip November, thank you for sending a star. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending doubloons. 5 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure the chat is rolling in riches and enjoying their time as they are. Right, I double checking the Ko-Fi. Yes, Amber, I did not read your Ko-Fi out yesterday. I assume that was more of a private message because you were just saying you're going to miss today's stream. But thank you for yesterday's Ko-Fi before stream because you were going to miss stream. You did say have a good stream, drink water, nice shirt, fuck ice, be gay, do crime. And your kitten said hello. So I guess those are good things to pass on to the chat. I guess you're right. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself an Italian ice on your way past the commissary. Someone gave 1 star, so I gave 4, so they are 5 stars. Ah, good math. Good math, good work. I agree. That maths to me. Intern Kangame, thank you for donating again to say. CPOI equals contained person of interest. Okay. I don't think I've actually ever heard of that before. Obviously, we have person of interest, and we have brought persons of interest in for interrogation before releasing them. A person contained with anomalous powers that would benefit the Foundation. He's going to be CPOI 9999, the English gent. Is there a particular meaning before the 4 9s? You see, most of the time when you have a single digit repeated like that, there's got to be some sort of cool meaning. Otherwise, it just comes off as, what's the word I'm looking for? Presumptuous? If you're going to do 4 digits the same, it should have some sort of meaning. Otherwise, most persons of interest on the wiki are random digits. You know what I mean? Hey, Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite fast foods restaurant? Intern Enzo. If I were going to have, favorite fast food. I would guess it would have to be the on-site Burger Czar. I am a big fan of the Burger Czar over the WcDonald's. I think the WcDonald's is a little iffy. So I prefer the Burger Czar. Arby's is watching, Dr. Sherman. Arby's, we do not have another meeting for the next 6 weeks, okay? You wait your turn. We'll have our words. You know what pisses me off? When people say they got into the Infinite Furniture store accidentally. We have it locked down, we have it secured, so you have to try to get in. But you know, that's just me, shrug. Well, Dr. Vincent, part of the problem is that, well, the biggest part of the problem, the majority of the problem is that people don't read the documents. If you read the SCP document for SCP-3008, you would know that you could only get through it through one door that's heavily guarded. But since people don't read the documents, they make all sorts of assumptions that make an ass out of them and not me because I read the document. Furthermore, the proliferations of the back rooms has caused a bigger problem with the Infinite IKEA because remember, the Infinite IKEA, the Infinite Furniture store for copyright purposes, came first. That was the first thing that happened. Therefore, The back rooms came later, let me point out. But then people assume the no clipping into the back rooms also means that you can no clip into the infinite IKEA, which you can't. That's not how it works. Intern Kangame, thank you for donating again to say. AK, I had the idea as a number on a photo with CPOI 9999 holding SCP 999, but he's like a level 5, not the authority of an O5, but not like a regular O5, but a voice. As I said, your biggest hurdle here is the more powerful your character is, both in ability and status, the more difficult it is to suspend disbelief for the reader. Now, if you're writing this into the story, that's where you have to worry about that. If you're not writing into a story, role play to your heart's content. But if you're writing this character into something, then you can have high abilities and low status. That's your wandering warrior. They're but whispers, and nobody really knows how powerful they are until they get in a fight with them. Then you have people who are high status but no ability. Your Gilderoy Lockharts, your bullshitters. And so, when you are dealing with a doubly high status, high ability, you've got to also have pretty damn challenging challenges for them to have to overcome. Otherwise, what's a threat to them? What's the interest of them existing in the story if they can just hand wave away every problem? So consider this. Consider this. Get a shower, bro. Intern hammered down. I need you to understand that ain't nobody dope as me. I am just so fresh and so clean. Trust me, there is no one on earth who showers more than I do. Bit of a clean freak with all the allergies and the germs out there. Containment hazard assessment team. Do not fret about the 049 that is in the chat. Remember that this is a multiversal broadcast. It goes to several different universes. After all, the SCP Foundation has no canon. Because of that, some universes allow anomalies to have cellular phones. For reasons I can't quite comprehend, feels like a big breach of secrecy, but they allow it. That does not mean that 049 is coming for you in your universe. Chill. Alternatively, you can write a story about high power, high status character without conflict. You just have to make it interesting in other ways. Look up Kisho Tenketsu. I have never heard of Kisho Tenketsu. You actually completely have my attention here. Ah, blinded by the lights. No, you no longer have my attention. I don't have attention. I have death. All right, I have that Wikipedia pulled up for later. Intern Kangame, thank you for donating again to say. Also, Reggie gave SCP-999 4 liters of soda and an MP5. Reggie fucking knows better. What kind of sauce was Reggie on at that point? Idiot sauce is the sauce. Intern Sin, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Site 42 staff, do remember, we have a moderator in the chat. The Desk of Alto Clef is our mod. The desk enforces the rules, whether or not you pay attention. So you should listen when the desk talks, despite the times that the desk will say funny things, or maybe answer your smaller questions. You must make sure that you do not disobey rules that you could have easily learned about if you were listening to the moderator. If you are banned because you broke the rules and did not pay attention to the moderator, that's on you. I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me get that before I forget it exists again. Researcher Chaos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some waffles on your way past the commissary. And thank you for specifically going through the Ko-Fi to send your donation. As we all know, the Ko-Fi only takes 3% of whatever you donate as a service fee, while YouTube Super Chats take 30% of every donation so that YouTube gets paid too. So when you go through the Ko-Fi, your donation goes a lot further, so we greatly appreciate the effort. And Researcher Chaos, you said, Happy Mother's Day to all the he, she, they that celebrate. Indeed, indeed. Happy Mother's Day to all that celebrate. Blue Phantom, thank you for donating again to say, 999 stole a truck. This is registered fault for once. Please, I don't want to chase 999. Stop letting it steal soda because then it steals trucks. Well, technically speaking, it didn't steal soda. Reggie gave it the soda, which is a whole can of worms that I need to address with Reggie later on. Site 42 staff, since we have 92 people in the chat right now, I just want to alert you that you should be hitting that like button to spread the stream's algorithm further so that more people join us for our SCP Foundation shenaniganery. Furthermore, while we're having this talk about how many people are watching, reminder that SCP Containment Breach, the movie, is starting its Kickstarter on May 15th. And so go to the Keter Labs YouTube channel to get information about the upcoming SCP Containment Breach, the movie. I need you all to help me to hype this thing to high hell so that we can get all the money for SCP Containment Breach, the movie. At the end of this month, we're all going to be seated to watch The Backrooms in theaters to understand how they got from Kane Pixels making a YouTube show to putting that in feature film movie theaters. And Keter Labs is following the same journey. We are going to support them in this, and as such, they will also support future SCP filmmakers. So, you need to focus fire on the video they dropped 2 days ago called the SCP Containment Breach Final Trailer. You need to hype it. You need to share it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, clip, chat, everything. So that we boost this all over the place. I want to see Keter Labs getting SCP Galleonic numbers. I need to see hundreds of thousands of dollars poured into this film studio so we can go watch SCP the movie in theaters. Are we clear? Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters. Give me a sir, yes sir in the chat. Very good, Mobile Task Force Sci-42. You have your orders. Make sure they are fulfilled. This is going to be a busy week. I am broke, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know what I always say, some person. If you're part of the broke gang, remember we're an arts community. We get starving artists. No, no, no. You don't need money here. You need sharing power. You need to be out on social media, sharing this video, sharing these Kickstarters with your friends who know about the SCP community, sharing them in SCP Foundation Discord servers, making sure that people know this campaign is happening. I don't want a single SCP Foundation fan to be able to say, I didn't hear there could have been an SCP movie. If I would have known, I would have donated. So if you cannot donate, you need to spread awareness. Intern Kangame, thank you for donating again to say, we are being raided by the Payday Gang. You're up against the wall and I am the fucking wall. Is that a fucking saw? They just killed our mobile task force with a spoon. If I'm familiar, that is a gang of bank robbers. Why would they be invading a top secret facility of anomalies? What are they looking for? Even share with people who don't know about it. I got my wife into this phantom. You're damn right, Sora Wolf. You're damn right, share with people who might be interested. Get them into SCP so that then they want to do the sharing as well. We will spread this fandom far and wide. We are like Marvel Comics, but we are written by the people. You don't need to go very far. You can just throw a rock and hit an SCP author. And so a fandom by the fans, for the fans. Nothing like this has ever been seen on the internet. No other creepypasta community has grown into a full-fledged artistic community like the SCP Foundation. It is hypothesized that the SCP Foundation is the largest creative collaborative project in history. How many projects do you know have 2,000 to 5,000 authors working on the same project? It's a bit crazy. Randomly and Enzo, you are correct. We are the GOAT. There is no faulting that. The SCP Foundation is a special thing. It has inspired games such as Control. Control exists because the SCP Foundation exists. They said in an interview in Kotaku, we were inspired by the SCP Foundation. That's hype as fuck. And so we carry the SCP Foundation across the goal. We make this happen. We carry the team on our backs. I just got here. What do you mean SCP movie in theaters? Intern Gordon Freeman, please go back to the start of the VOD to watch the stream subject, or go back 5 minutes ago when I re-explained the stream subject. Suffice it to say, go to the Keter Labs YouTube channel. They have a new video. Their Kickstarter is coming soon. SCP, the movie in theaters, only if you help us as a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codename Signal Boosters to do something about it. Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. I know Dr. Freeman is a highly trained professional, but still, he needs direction. Otherwise, he might open another rift in time and space. Yeah. Careful with that next time, huh? Interns Chris and Amy, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Intern NeoX, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself some flan on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, if we put SCP-173 in space, what if it drifts in space and passes the ISS and someone looks at it and blinks? What would happen? Well, we do know that SCP-173 breaks the laws of physics in some key ways, as in what motivates it to move in the first place. That makes me believe that if it were in outer space, it would still be able to achieve locomotion. So, it is affected by gravity, which means that if it were floating and falling into orbit, it would fall. But if someone in the space station blinked, it could rapidly ascend past the, actually, it doesn't fly, which means it doesn't fight gravity. So imagine you are the space station. Now, if 173 is closer to Earth, then it's just going to fall to Earth from gravity. Its orbit is going to decay, it's going to fall. And that means that everyone in the ISS is safe, because 173 cannot defy gravity. But if 173 were above the space station in orbit, then the blink it would snap. Now, could it get through the ISS hull? Because it doesn't go through doors, but the ISS is a lot less... What is the hull of the ISS made of? Hull of ISS. Multi-layered pressurized structure constructed from aluminum alloys and stainless steel. Main pressure hull is approximately 1/10 of an inch thick. What I'm essentially trying to see is if 173 would Kool-Aid Man through the ISS hull. Because, you know, if you play Containment Breach, it stops at the doors. But those are pretty thick security doors. They're not made of aluminum and stainless steel, which is weaker than our security doors are. An interesting question. An interesting question. However, because it would probably cause catastrophic damage, death, and breach of secrecy, most importantly, we will not be testing that. Dr. Sherman, isn't the ISS destined to get destroyed by SCP-5761? I know it was taken over by one of our artificial intelligence constructs who got so angry that we made it play 1 billion rounds of Among Us that it took over the ISS and tried to end humanity. Did the ISS fall after we stopped that scenario? Several seconds later, Foundation astronomers confirmed the cessation of the anomalous properties of SCP-5761. Several seconds later, after that, Foundation astronomers confirmed that 5761 is violently exploded. Yes! Yes, okay, we did destroy the ISS by infecting it with an artificial intelligence construct that was very angry with us for making it play so much Among Us. Our bad! By the way, Site 42 staff, we are currently 10 minutes from the end of stream. 10 minutes from the end of stream, so get your last 10-minute questions in. I'm curious, how much is the stream delay, Desk? Well, I'll tell you, I believe the stream delay is something about 15 to 30 seconds. Or at least that's how long it feels that I have to wait after asking a question to get a response from you guys. Dr. Sherman, would there be any chance of the Foundation hiring Dr. Albert Wesker? Intern Freeman. As much as I find the scientific aims and processes of Wesker to be deplorable, I cannot doubt that due to the efforts of the Fire Suppression Department and their utilization of the Dr. Christopher Burns retirement protocol, I would not be shocked if they would take such an amoral individual into the Foundation. I'd be very annoyed at it. If that were to happen, I'm certain that somehow Wesker would work his way up to a O5 position and then murder the O5s and take over and then start wielding the SCP Foundation for his own evil ends. So yeah, it would be a bad idea. Blue Phantom, thank you for donating again to say. 999 has been caught, requesting permission to revoke 999's wandering privileges for 2 days to a work to do it to stealing cars and soda lately. Yes, we do need to train 999 not to do that anymore, so do what you will to cause that behavioral change. How many SCP are there? Intern Phil, if I were to go to the SCP Foundation database, and if I were to click on a random SCP just to get to the tags, and if I were to scroll to the bottom and click on the tag SCP, this will show me every page on the wiki tagged as an SCP. And that brings us to a grand total of 10,399 SCPs on the SCP database. About to hit that big 10-4, aren't we? Dr. Sherman, yesterday I made my first SCP on the SCP Sandbox Wiki. Are there any tips for writing you can tell me? Intern Pundagress, I need to ask, have you gone through the green light process with your idea? And have you gotten any critique on your article? Those would be my first very big tips. If you did not get a green light for your first SCP, you really should go through the green light process. That's my big tip for you right now. Some person, perhaps. You say we passed 16,000 total articles on the SCP Wiki, by the way? Do you mean that including tales and groups of interest format and things like that? Because honestly, I thought we had more than 16,000 pages now. Yes, I do. You can find it on the license box tag. Ah, sure. Okay, so license box tag. That makes sense as a way to rank that, I assume. As good as any. SCP, scroll to the bottom. License box. And so, yeah, there is your 16,055 pages on the wiki. Or at least license boxed pages. I wonder if Skipper is going to work today. Skipper DB. So if we talk, for once Skipper is up and active, Skipper DB is a fantastic resource for looking through the SCP Wiki at a data scale. This shows you, okay, we have 110,845 users. 3,117 of them are active users. We have 13,759 contributors. SCP author count is at 2,676. We currently have 20,904 pages total. And so not only does this give you stats, but you can come up to this box here and you can look at the data for any particular page or user. Let's put in Dr. Sherman's Wiki handle and see how it works. Can you do it? Do you have the power skipper, or are you only working at half capacity? It's a lot of data to scrape. It takes some time. All right, we're just going to assume it needs a nap. But if you can get it to work, it's totally cool. Oh, yeah, I got a too long to respond error. No bueno. Now, what I can tell you is the skipper, and that is spelled SCP-PER. Skipper does have a Chrome extension that does good things for the SCP database when you're reading it. So if you use Chrome or Opera or whatever browser can use extensions, the Skipper extension is very useful. I am a Patreon patron of the Skipper Chrome extension, so they can keep working on it. Blue Phantom, thank you for donating again to say. Wandering, sorry, autocorrect. Also, how was your day? Desk day. Also, I summoned Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. So, day is going well so far for me. I assume Desk is doing okay. I've not heard otherwise. And Charlie was here a while ago. We only have 3 minutes left in the stream. I don't know if she'll make it from that summoning. We'll have to see. 369 Destroyer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a croissant on your way past the commissary. I'm on my third draft. The process is rewarding. Draft it up, man. Draft it up. Make that superhero story. Can't wait to see it. Did the Kickstarter for the SCP movie start? The Kickstarter for the SCP Containment Breach movie starts on May 15th, 5 days from now. And so keep an eye on us here at Site42 because we will continue to alert you of updates as we can. I have a meeting with the boys over at Keter Labs later this week in which we will be discussing certain secret details. The desk is not so much in a good place. I need y'all to give some good vibes to Desky over there. The desk needs a spirit bomb of Site42 community energy. Especially for a poor puppy that might be in need of some surgery. So, let us hope and give our spirit bomb of energy to the desk. Sleepless Songbird. Hey, Dr. Sherman, do you ever hear from DJ Cactus or other writers like Alto Clef? So, while I have spoken to some of these other authors in the past, it just depends on how busy I am, really. I don't hang around the community spaces too often because between my day job and doing Site42 and the daily streams and all that, trying to rehab my ankle and get back in shape after my injury, I do not have a lot of free time these days. But I do talk to some SCP authors who come in the chat every so often. I will poke some people that I'm better friends with on Discord once in a while to see how they're doing. And overall, yeah, I haven't heard from Cactus in a couple of years. I talked to Alto last year, but not since. Mm-hmm. And Site42 staff, we have made it to the end of today's stream. And as we do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be narcissism. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over from the SCPs themselves, you'll find a list of links. Links that people are often very curious about, but After asking about them, they don't do this simple effort of going to look where I'm telling them the links are. It's very sad and confusing. But you guys will not be sad and be confused me. You will find those links, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. And when you do, you will be able to go to the Patreon or the YouTube channel memberships to donate to us monthly. You'll be able to do a Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chat donation to donate to us one at a time. Or you'll be able to, for the next 3 days only, get your Dr. Sherman Site Director Edition plushie. This is the last 3 days. If you don't order now, you may never have the opportunity again. Not may never, you will never have the opportunity again. This is a one-time deal. So get it while it's hot or it's gone forever. However you choose to support Site42 financially, if you do so, then we greatly appreciate your generosity. It helps out myself as well as the rest of the Site42 staff, such as Desk, Agent Goose the Animal Wrangler, Synthetic Alien, our editor, and so on and so forth. And so we greatly appreciate your generosity in that case. And if you cannot donate because you are part of the Broke Gang, do not fret. We understand starving artists after all. But you can still help us out as a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, clip us, edit us, share memes. When you spread us on social media, you spread our virality, you engage with our work. And the same goes for SCP projects we support. When SCP Galleonic was getting active with its Kickstarter, we shared and memed and did all this work. It got a big boost, and we helped it get done. Keter Labs' SCP Containment Breach the movie is coming up this week. We're going to need to do the same thing. Memes, edits, clips, like, share, subscribe, comments, chats. Whenever you support these SCP projects, you bring them engagement. The engagement brings them virality. It will bring them more people who have money. So even if you're not a moneyed individual, you can still get that help from someone who can. And so you are valuable to the SCP community when you engage in it with the virality of a project. And that is how we get SCP artists to want to stick around the SCP community. The corporations can pay money, but they're not going to do it for SCP because they can't own SCP. So what we've got to do is we've got to take control of our own destinies. And when we support the SCP Wiki and its authors and artists, the filmmakers, the animators, the game devs, the merch makers, the podcasters, that is how we get the SCP Foundation movie in a theater. And so Site42's Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters, we salute your work. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, content warning on the last one's a rough read. So, Site42 staff, this is another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Boop. Sunday morning rain is falling. Steal some cover, share some skin. Clouds are shrouding us in moments unforgettable. You twist to fit the mold that I am in. But things just get so crazy living, life gets hard to do. And I would gladly hit the road, get up if I knew that someday it would lead me back to you. That someday it would lead me back to you. That may be all I need. In darkness she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, and I never want to leave. The credit song is Sunday Morning by Maroon 5. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream.